fake, delusional, and disingenuous. He stands as a beacon of truth. He is Abuki Cabal. You are listening to Abuki Cabal.
Welcome to the Abuki Cabal Show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Today I wanted to talk about Gayle King and this Sports Illustrated deal. This just confounds me every time I see something like this, how we as men, we tell women what we want, and we tell them what we find attractive, what we desire to consume with regard to materials that are aimed at our consumption. You know, if we like sexy characters, whether they be video games, whether they be, James Bond girls, whatever the case may be, it seems like they want to give us what they want us to have and not what we want. We're starting to see this with Disney, starting to see it in almost every medium. We're being fed women who are overweight, women who are old, women who are made up in ways that are just unrealistic. Whatever it is that, the feminist narrative is about what we as men should want, or what they want us to want, is what they're going to give us. Disney's bashing us over the head with trans this and trans that. Now you got people out here saying that basically you're not a real man if you won't date a trans woman, and things like that. So when is it ever going to end? I saw it years ago when women were trying to say that basically in comic books that the characters were overly sexualized, but when you look at who was buying comic books, it was young men, it was older men, comic books were never for kids in the first place, but, the people who were actually enjoying the comics and keeping the comic book industry alive was not a bunch of women who basically wanted us to look at old women and fat women and, body positivity and things of that nature. So yet again, we see, something that started out for men. I mean, you have Sports Illustrated, which was for men who wanted to know about things that were going on in sports. And somehow, we started getting people like Martha Stewart and, Gayle King on the cover, as if this is sexy, as if this is going to sell books. I mean, I guess women will buy these books who think that the wall doesn't exist and who think that, they will forever be able to get on the cover of a magazine, no matter what they look like, how old they are, or, whether they're attractive to men or not. So I'm not going to, stretch this out too long, but you get where I'm going with this. I mean, this is beginning to be very, very irritating, for those of us who purchase things to see sexy women in them. You know what I mean? Imagine if Hustler or Playboy had, their Woman of the Month was some, geriatric lady, who was, all wrinkled up and, and they got her in some, bathing suit for us to look at and expected us to buy this, or we would be shamed into submission because we don't want to look at, some burnt out old lady. And I don't know. That's where it's headed now, everything's being crammed down your throat, Alphabet shit's crammed down your throat. You've got feminist shit crammed down your throat. There is no more escapism. You can't escape from the real world into, fantasy and things that please you. You have to get what they give you. And people like Bob Iger and these other people in Disney, they're not listening. They're not listening to us and what we want to see, what we consider to be something that we would pay for with regard to what we want to see as far as female characters are concerned, or characters in general. So we've got this lady here, who was on Yahoo Life, Carrie Justich, who basically wrote this article that says that Gayle King is on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit at 69 and why it matters. So we're going to explore that and see, why it should matter to us that, a damn near 70-year-old lady is on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and why that is something that we should all be clamoring for. According to her, you notice these articles are always written by some lady, who's going to give it to us and let us know why, we should, why we should be gunning for this type of stuff. It's the script is becoming very, very in your face. So let's take a look at this article, and it says, Gayle has landed on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition at age 69 on Tuesday. The Emmy-winning journalist and CBS Morning host was revealed as one of the cover stars of the famed publication for 2024's issue. Joining models including Chrissy Teigen, which nobody wanted to see, Hunter McGrady, and Kate Upton on the cover. In the magazine. Gayle is a Black professional woman in her 60s who is loving this moment in time for herself. Okay. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know who's writing these articles. Okay, let's go back. Gayle is a Black professional woman in her 60s who is loving this moment in time for herself, is loving herself, and is confident and successful and continuing to evolve and push forward and do what she wants to do with her life, regardless of the antiquated societal norms, may say. MJ, what the hell does that mean? May say. Okay, MJ Day, editor in chief of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit, tells Yahoo Life about choosing to feature King as the latest issue. She's this extremely successful elite academic journalist, and she has really leaned into this opportunity without really any hesitance. And you see how they keep banging us over the head with how successful she is and how, no one cares. She doesn't care what anybody thinks, and she's going to do whatever she wants and all that. These are these qualities that they keep trying to get us to care about. No one cares about somebody who just wants to do what they want and all of that shit. We buy the swimsuit edition to look at women in swimsuits. We don't particularly care what they do, other than that they are healthy and fit, and they play sports. That's what this was all about. You know, they had people in the past who were like either models or actresses, or either they were sports figures with nice bodies. But we don't get that anymore. We get Gayle King because somebody felt like she's so successful and so, you know, in your face with what she's doing and how we need to overcome these societal, antiquated societal norms to put in your face a 70-year-old lady and force you to find that attractive. And there it is. Feast your eyes. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have bought this shit. I wouldn't have bought it. I would have looked on the cover and I'd have said, God damn, this is horrible. You know, where are we now to where this is what we get? But this is what I call an abuse of power. You know, you have these people who are running these magazines who don't give a shit about, you know, the consumers of the magazines, don't give a shit about any of that. They just want to give you what they feel like you should see. So King is the latest mature celebrity to pose for Sports Illustrated swimsuit in recent years. Last year, Martha Stewart, like I told you, Martha Stewart became, at 81, the oldest woman to grace the magazine's cover. Stewart, now 82, is also featured in the 2024 issue, marking the magazine's 60th anniversary, joining legends including Christy Brinkley, who is 70, who she wasn't 70 when she was in it, Mae Musick, 76, as well as models Tyra Banks, Molly Sims, Rashumba Williams, Polina Porzkova, all of whom are in their 50s, but they weren't that old when they were in the magazine. See, that's the thing that they're not telling you, is that none of these people, it'd be one thing if they brought back, you know, like in Playboy. Playboy would bring back all the old playmates and whatnot, and they would show their photos. They didn't show the old ladies. They showed when they were young. They would show their layout, and they would say, hey, she's like a Hall of Famer here. You know, but that's not what we get now. We get the old ladies. And we've got an old lady Hall of Fame now for Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Okay. If you're gonna put somebody in there, why don't you put Will Smith's mother-in-law on there? Why don't you put Eddie Murphy's ex-wife on there? You know what I mean? She's up there. You want to show an older lady on there? Why don't you show somebody who is attractive? Somebody who, you know, men who are of whatever age would go, man, damn, I'd love to see more of that. You know? But you're not putting that up there. You're putting this shit up there. So, let's move on. We just want to keep making sure that we do everything we can to remind people that we as women are many different things, says Day. We look different. We are different ages, and we are different weights. We are different heights. We're from different walks of life. We have different careers. We have different trajectories and paths. You associate beauty or success with a certain type of person. But women in general are thriving in all of these different capacities and these different facets of life. None of that shit that we asked for. We don't care about any of that. Nobody cares one iota about any of that shit she's talking about. Not at all. Okay? But for some reason, we got to have an agenda. We got to have an agenda, you know, in our sports, in our swimsuit editions, you know. You know, what happened to, I mean, okay, I'll give you, okay. Do they ask these type of questions in Miss Universe and, Miss America and all of that? What kind of answers are you getting back? Are you getting this type of shit? And now that they have all of this power, are things getting better? Now that they're in charge and they're old and, and they can do whatever they want, are things better for us, societally? Are things better because we got trans women running around, in women's sports, and because we have old ladies running around like they're young, so they can act like they really are not eating, they're young, they're basically taking opportunities from younger women, more attractive women. Gayle don't want no man. What is she up in here on the Sports Illustrated, swimsuit edition for? Who finds Gayle attractive? Let's find a list of men. You guys, let me know if there's a cabal of men out here just beating themselves over the head trying to get at Gayle. I haven't seen it. I haven't even heard about it. Even when Gayle was young, I didn't hear nothing about it. There was nobody really chasing after Oprah either. She probably wouldn't really be anybody without Oprah, to tell you the truth. So, all of this success and all of these feminist tropes, all that stuff only means anything to the women who write about this stuff and these other women who basically think that they can do everything that they want to do when they're young, and then when they're in their 70s, they can be Sports Illustrated models. They don't have to focus about, being men or anything like that. They can basically just live up to all of the tropes these women are putting up. You can be anything you want, and there's no time limit at all. All you have to do is just do whatever you want. Forget what these men say. Don't look for a husband. Don't look for boyfriends. None of that matters. Just go out and make money. Okay? All right, so here's Gayle on her Instagram. Another, I guess, pic. She looks like, somebody's mama, and not in a good way. No MILF action there. But anyway, Gayle says, can add another job to her already impressive resume. Here we go, talking about the resume again. Swimsuit model. Our editor at large is on the cover of this year's Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, and we've got all the behind-the-scenes action of her shoot in Mexico. Tap the link in our bio and join us in congratulating Gayle on this amazing feat. How is it amazing? All she had to do was be picked by some women who basically thought she was great. What did she do to get was this is crazy. It's not like they picked her out of like tons of old ladies and said, hey, there's a bunch of old ladies out here. Let's pick, go through their resumes and see which one we want to pick. Were there any men in this selection process? Did they ask us? I don't think so. Okay, so let's go on. Rachel Goldberg, a licensed therapist. What the? Okay, why do we have a therapist in this now? Okay, all right, let's go. Rachel Goldberg, a licensed therapist who did research on body image and the university. What did I tell you? I told you they are trying to convince you that you should like this. And they got a female therapist up here to tell you why, you should like this. And this shit's crazy. Okay. All right, let's go. Licensed therapist who did research on body image at the University of California, Los Angeles, tells Yahoo Life that it's a necessary reminder to have. So it's necessary that we see old ladies in centerfolds, okay? Prominently featuring old women on magazine covers, and within its pages sends a resounding message that aging is a natural progression in life, devoid of shame, she says. Such a portrayal not only demonstrates that older women can radiate confidence and allure, but also challenges the notion that sexiness is solely synonymous with youthfulness. This person is a college graduate and a person who has to deal with science, studies, statistics, quantifiable measurements. And she's telling you that youthfulness is not synonymous with sexiness. According to who? It's not according to any research. It's not according to any data that's ever been gathered on what men find attractive. So I'd like to know, where did this come from? Other than out of her head and her sitting around talking to other women who basically are afraid that they're getting older. They're afraid that they're not going to get attention, so they basically generate attention for themselves in any way they can possibly imagine. Okay, so the article goes on to say, this is important for both mental and physical health. Of who? What about our physical and mental health? What about us? Nobody cares about us. They only care about these old ladies, thinking that they're beautiful forever. This is nuts, man. Okay, says Emily Van Eck, a registered, now we got a dietitian. Okay, this is important for both mental and physical health, says Emily Van Eck, a registered dietitian who specializes in body image and eating disorders. Research supports the notion that when we see mostly images of flawless, young, ideal bodies in the media, our body image plummets, she tells Yahoo Life. The more we are held to unrealistic standards of appearance, the more we fixate on our perceived imperfections and may try unsustainable or even dangerous strategies to look closer to our unrealistic standards. Okay? So, excuse me. Again, this is a strategy that they have been working on behind the scenes to basically attack anything that's attractive to men. Anything that men, this is even going on with them calling everything about men liking youth and beauty as us being, somehow pedophiles and whatnot. This is crazy. So they're almost trying to criminalize. No, they are trying to criminalize, and they're also trying to vilify, your thought process in your mind and in kids' minds before they even reach a reasonable age. They start sounding like these moist dudes who are out here spouting off the same type of rhetoric. Well, I don't necessarily have to have a pretty woman. I'll take a fat girl. I don't necessarily have to have a woman who basically prioritizes me in the relationship. I'll take a woman who basically wants to be accomplished and revered by other women to the point to where I don't get any attention at all. I'll take that. So they always talk about settling, but all of this right here is basically just code speak for them trying to get men in a position to where they will take whatever they give them. That's what this is coming down to. They use their trumped up specialists to basically solidify in your mind that what they're saying is real and factual. You know, we're gonna get some experts here that'll tell them exactly what we're trying to say is that you should be looking at old ladies. You should be looking at old ladies. You should think old ladies are attractive. You should find your great-grandmother attractive. She should wear the same clothes that she wore when she was in her 20s. Because there's nothing wrong with that. There's no such thing as a wall. There's no such thing as menopause. There's no such thing as a decrease in sexual desire and sexual attractiveness as you get old. If all of this was true, then why are plastic surgeons making money hand over fist on people trying to maintain their attractiveness? People just like this. Why is it that, you have people who are, you can't even keep, these new drugs in the pharmacy because of this Ozempic and all of this stuff, because these people are going out there getting it faster than they can create it. But then they spin you a yarn about how none of that matters. None of that matters. Nobody wants to be thin. Nobody wants to be attractive. You should want to see these other, less desirable characters. Okay, so let's finish this up. Wow. Okay, research supports the notion that when we see the mostly images of flawless, young, ideal bodies in the media, our body image plummets, she tells Yahoo Life. The more we are held to unrealistic standards of appearance, the more we fixate on our perceived imperfections. They're not perceived. You do have imperfections. There's nobody's out here who's perfect. And may try unsustainable, even dangerous strategies to look closer to our unrealistic standards. Providing representation of women of different ages, races, ethnicity, and body size helps to combat that. It's also what drove Stewart to participate in last year's issue. Usually, I'm motivated by pay. But this time I was motivated by showing people that that a woman my age could still look good, feel good, be good. The cookbook author and TV personality said in conversation with Sports Illustrated, I thought that this kind of I thought that this is kind of historic. I think we're starting to reprogram society and ourselves to not feel hindered by the number of the age or the stretch marks or the clothing size or the bank account, Day says. It's very refreshing to see how easy it was to ask these returning alumni back. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm so old, life doesn't end at whatever number. Somebody once said it did. We're limitless. And that's what these women collectively and independently represent. That's unrealistic. That is crazy. That whole paragraph is crazy. So you see what was most significant about that was, I think we're starting to reprogram society. This is their agenda. It's to reprogram us to accept this. They didn't go out and make an old lady swimsuit edition magazine or something. They didn't do a whole magazine full of old ladies like Oprah's magazine. That's what they should have done. They should have just made an old lady magazine. for people to go look at and see how long it lasts. See how many people buy that and see who's buying it. Show us who the target, consumers are and who's buying the magazine. I guarantee it's not us. But they'll keep pushing that out there to make it seem like, this is what we should be doing. They'll even push it in schools, push it in healthcare. They'll push it in every institution until they get the kids. See, that's how they get the kids first, because we're pretty much gone. They're not going to convince us. They're going to get the kids, so the next generation will be accepting of all of this inclusion and fake diversity and whatnot. Okay, so let's go on down. We'll look at, Gayle here, and she's heavily made up on the TV show. And she reacts to herself being on the cover, and she's so surprised and so happy to be on the cover. It's just some sad shit, I tell you. I never would have thought that we'd be here. Okay, so and she goes on to further to say, and what does King herself have to say? I cannot get over it, she said on CBS Mornings. After the cover was revealed to her, I just never saw myself this way. I still don't see myself this way. But when I look at that, I go, that looked damn good. That looks damn good, huh? Well, I don't think that I'm alone in feeling immense disgust regarding the frequent parade of old ladies on the cover. I did a show about, the Miss USA, not Miss USA, the Miss Universe pageant was taken over by, the trans lady, and then trans women were going to be mixed in with the real women to the point to where you didn't know what you were looking at. And, finally that was kind of undone, and it's falling apart. So, hopefully reality will prevail, and we just won't have to deal with this. But as long as they can just put this stuff out here, and it's just, I don't know who's funded it. Probably the same people who fund Lifetime. They tell you what their mission statement is. They go out there and they say that, hey, we're going to go out here and we're going to bash you over the head with these feminist tropes. And now we're getting it in our magazines. We're getting it in everything. Commercials, Disney, everything. So, like I said, I can go on and on about this, but, look, she's got these, I don't know, man. Gayle looks horrible. She really does. That's definitely not a fresh face right out the shower. And, we're being, these unmarried, unwanted women, unattractive women are just being paraded out here like this is a goal for the young women. This is going to make the young women feel so much better about themselves and be more accomplished. And, it's just crazy. That is crazy. So, I guess I'll end it with that. But you guys, let me know what you think about it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But it's just going to keep occurring, and I wish there was some way for us to stop this from happening. Any ideas? If you guys have any ideas other than us continuing to speak out about this type of stuff, then I'd appreciate it. And like I said, I appreciate you guys, watching the show, sticking around, even though we had some dead spots and whatnot. I'll try to keep cranking the content out and talking about things that I think matter, and hopefully you guys do too.
You are listening to Abuki Cabal, the analytical savage.
All right, you guys take it easy, and I will catch you on the next one.
I want you to stand up tall.